Peace in, folks. How you doing? Use the force. Positive mental attitude. We're trying. So, welcome to lockdown 3, eh? In quite a few different minds at the moment. Like, the change I've wanted for, I don't know, some years. So COVID's no different to it. I just feel we need unity before the change can happen. I was watching Russell Brand this morning, an interview he did, or a podcast he did, it's more of a chat than an interview really, was with a woman called D-double-E, can't remember her second name. Anyway, it was really good. She's, you know, I guess you can say like an activist. She's of Muslim background, and she's been, you know, I've mentioned this beforehand, but she's been going around, you know, white supremacy groups, all these extremist groups, and personalising Muslims to them, so they realise the stereotype they have doesn't work. And I think that's beautiful, obviously, because that can break down a lot of the barriers, a lot of the preconceived ideas we have of each other. We can easily break them down and realise there is no difference between us. Like, someone might talk with more depth than me, but the only difference is their life experience, what they've chosen to take from it. So it's that personal choice thing, which is like fucking powerful. Let me dry my throat. Oh, I do like that. I'm using Alpro oats, nuts, not oats. Anyway, it's a nice alternative to milk. I used milk for about a week or two back there while I was waiting for some shopping stuff to come through, but that was the first time I'd had milk in probably like 3-4 plus months, probably. So obviously I'm keen for everyone to just at least look at where we're living and go, can we do a little bit better? I've gone a little bit further. I've put some stuff to paper. I'm trying to get some ideas out to try and create a new way of thinking. Like I said in my old self-progression videos, like I've said in these videos now. Basically, colonial minds will create colonial times. You can't create a new system with an old mindset. To think outside of the box, you got to step out of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? And that's not in this clever term. I'm not trying to be clever. I'm being real. Like, until you can look at the structure of hierarchy for what it is, since time, since our written history, and there was a whole wealth of history before that, but let's just, with our written history, hierarchy seems to be the defining factor that creates divide and conquer. Like, if we get rid of that, all of these gender indifferences, all of these inequalities that have been kept in place by a male hierarchy system will get demolished. Who doesn't want equal rights? Who doesn't want equal pay for time into a service? Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? So, of course, creating a new way forward, you wouldn't have any of these allowed, you know, discriminations. Word almost didn't come out. So, obviously, the People's Platform is a Facebook page I created, and you know, I'm not like overly trying to promote it, so there's only I've got a couple of pending applications that I've got to look at. I saw like too early this morning to be dealing with anything. But it's just a space whereby we can openly communicate ideas, no matter who you are and where you're from. But if you have constructive input with no insults, because of what I have faced trying to share information and create new conversation forms, I face a lot of insults, and I watch other people in the supposed, whatever you want to call it, right? There's all types of labels trying to be banged onto the movement of awakening in one sense or another. But I've got no time for insulting people personally. I've got no time for telling other people they can't insult people. But where a constructive conversation needs to happen, insults have got to stay at the door. Like, there's got to be some type of structure, right? Like, everybody knows we can't just live with no structure. You know, that's why I'm keen to see change, but healthy, structured change that actually works for the planet and the people on it. Not for a small percentage of the people on the planet, and that's it, really. Fundamentally long-term goal, looking at the objective outcome, you know. This hasn't been heading in a good direction, and it's not. So we can change that, and this is the beauty of being able to share, right? We can commune in areas, we can come together and talk on the People's Platform group. I'd love to see that become an actual platform that was integral in the structure of society. Not me leading nothing. Make this clear. If you join the People's Platform group and then you read the document I've written, I've stated very clearly, I'm not trying to be a leader, don't want to be a leader, don't want a leader. I don't want you to come and lead me. I don't need it, thank you. And I don't want to lead you. You should lead your damn self. Someone says, I love that line. We should be leading our damn selves. Never a true word spoken, Mr. Smart. So it's what it is, isn't it? And we're not going to lead our damn selves unless we all have an idea and an input as to where we're going. So it was like, well, I'm you know, like that saying, like, you know, oh, humankind can't possibly imagine infinity, and people talk about changing society like, oh, you couldn't possibly, like, we can. I'm no one special. I've got some stuff on paper. I want more people to input into this document, into this idea, into this movement forward, joining all movement, not me, oh, come join my group now, da, 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 da. No. This is, I'd like people who are already in groups, organisers, people who like are actually trying to get things done, people who care about having input into that, people who have never ever even had cause to doubt the government until now, and now you're going, come over, have a look, see what the conversation looks like. I'm interested to see what the conversation can look like, because if we leave insults at the door and we're productively conversing about ways to move forward, how can good not come from that? I've kicked off a starting point with a 13-point document that I think is a good conversation starting point. I think I'll cover everything from law to education to the elderly to the monetary system. Not trying to be something, just wanting to be a part of the humankind. That's why I've called it the Declaration of Humanity. Declaration of Humanity. That can be global. And that's what I want. I want global change, healthily. And I'm not a daydreamer. I even write that in the write-up at the back of the document. I'm not a daydreamer. I'm not expecting instant change. But if we can take the steps forward, if we can visualise the change, if we can have not only a tangible picture in our minds, but a map to it, that's powerful. So all the positive reinforcement we can do, all the awareness we can do, all the facing, not lying to ourselves or others we can do, the better it will be for our combined future. We don't live in a system that is trying to get the best for the people. So, this current pandemic aside, I don't need to be rushing out to the streets now. None of this is going to happen quickly. I care more about people being involved in conversation, people actively, because we're not going to get real change out of the current system. That's not going to happen because the people in it will see to it that it won't. So we need to exclude them from the decision-making process, which means numbers, which means unity, which means organisation and communication. But first off, it means coming together, talking seriously about real topics, putting aside beliefs. Like, I don't care if you're an atheist, or if you believe in Allah, or if you believe in universal consciousness, or some other rendition on a belief system. It makes no difference to me. Who are you in front of me? What are you doing? And what are we talking about? That's all that matters. Like, you can take that to some extremes, but in the context of what I'm speaking about, that is what I'm saying. So, you know, I think we should share the idea, and we should at least get the conversation going and see if more people are up for this, because at the moment I don't know how well this could be taken to. I think it's a fucking great idea, and I state why. Because a document takes out the leadership. It means everybody's working towards a agreed goal, which means the leader's the document. And if everybody signs it, and I don't mean like every human on the face of the planet, although that would be nice, to be honest with you. But, you know, but to get something moving, everybody who cares about it signs it, you know. And if all, like, I read on one of the groups I'm a part of yesterday, there was a bloke and he's a part of 50 different groups, all with upwards of something like 5,000 members plus. You know, some of them have got up like 40, 60 K members, 50 groups. What do we look like as a united people when that happens? How many of these middle road people that aren't quite sure on what way they want to go or what action to take? They know what they feel, but it looks like the hard road, you know. Like, the more of us lot that come together and show our faces. We don't need to go to cities if we're filming. We can go to towns and rally in peace. Sure, like, march on cities, rally cities. I think that needs to happen. I'm just keen to go round towns myself with lots of people and to march. Or even I was thinking something as beautiful as just walking up and down streets. Even with masks on, if it took it, I wouldn't give a shit about that. If we were walking just through streets, gentle chants, peaceful, not telling anyone to take masks on or off, it's the point of information that counts. Things like this, you know. And so I'd love to see more conversation on it. The People's Platform, capital letters. There's an apostrophe before the S on People's. Seems to be the defining difference. There's a lion as the picture. It's got some writing on it. You should read it. So I'm keen to see change. I'm keen to see people happy. I'm keen to see people healthy, and I'm keen to see a future that represents that. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think it's very obvious now. Many people are done with this situation, and these many people are not prepared to accept this vaccine bullshit. It's a brand new, untested technology. This is not the way they've been making vaccines up until now, so people should be knowing that, because it should be part of your free choice. So, do you know what I mean? What can you do? We're up on that time. So I'm going to wish you farewell, my friends. Use force, positive mental attitude, be kind with your thoughts to yourselves like you would for others. Keep loving your hearts for yourselves and others, and let's get it. Get what, John? Awareness, of course. Peace in.